All right. Well, welcome to another market update with Jay Cottrell and Josh Pruitt. And um, we welcome you. So, this one's going to be a little bit different since we are doing it live. We do have things up. So, just in case anybody is watching us live and wants to ask any questions, just drop a question down in the comments field and we should be able to see those and we'll ask those questions. We'll have a Q&A at the end. Um, and also just bear with us. Um, I'm playing producer and talent at the same time, so I've got a lot of screens active and a lot of things going on that I'm trying to track everything. So, anyways, welcome to Market Update. I'm Jay Cottrell with eXp Realty, and I'll let Josh introduce himself.
Hey guys, Josh Pruitt with Sierra Pacific Mortgage, and Jay, always a pleasure to do the market update with you. And so let's jump into this thing today.
Let's get into it. All right, so before we get started, I did want to mention a couple of things that we have going on. So Josh and I are both a member of a group called Impact TriCities, and we are currently doing a drive for Isaiah 117 house in Washington County, and it's a duffel bag and a throw blanket drive. So if you don't know who Isaiah 117 is and what they do, look them up. If you're definitely if you're local in our area, you should know who they are. But they are looking for duffel bags, and they need large duffel bags that they can put clothes and toiletries and all kinds of stuff in for the kids that come through their house. And they're also looking for throw blankets, and particularly adult sized for teenagers, because they tend to get a lot of donations for little kids, but they also get a lot of teenagers that come through there as well. And so they would like to have some full size throw blankets that they can give to them to stay warm, especially with the winter coming up. And the other thing that we have going on with Impact Tri-Cities is we have a upcoming networking meet and greet, and I'll let Josh kind of explain that to you.
Yeah, guys. So this Thursday from 5:30 to 7:30, we'll be meeting over at the Watauga Brewing Company, and it's just a meet and greet. And so if you're a local business in the Tri-Cities and you're looking to connect with other businesses, we would love to have you. Just come out and just it's informal, so just come out and have a good time. Um, we hope to have some food, and obviously there'll be drinks there as well too. But really, just want to get to know other businesses in the Tri-Cities, and that's really what it's all about. So hopefully we can see you on Thursday there at Watauga Brewery from 5:30 to 7:30. If you have any more questions on that, just shoot me or Jay a message, and we'd be happy to share more info with you. Or you can also go over to the Impact Tri-Cities Facebook page, and you can click on the event and select going or interested and inquire more there as well too. So.
All right, sounds good. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. So we're going to start out with Josh, and he's going to give us kind of an update on mortgage rates and where some of the experts think that mortgages might be headed.
Thank you, Jay. Well, what you're looking at here on the screen is from Mortgage News Daily. And sorry, my screen's a little bit delayed there, so it's a little spotty. But just to talk about the rates, today, looking at the national rate, we're right about a 6.42, and it's gone up just a little bit from the other day. It was down, I think, around the 6.3s and even below that before then. But rates are back up just a little bit, like I said, 6.42 on a 30-year fixed. If you look at a 15-year or 30-year jumbo, ARMs, and then also government loans, which is FHA and VA, those are obviously less than what the standard conventional 30-year fixed mortgage rate is. So you can see what they were as of 9/19, looking at Freddie Mac or Mortgage Bankers Association. The Treasury, you can see where, it's not looking too good as far as where our current rates are at. But there is some hopeful hope in the future, down the road. So there are multiple experts that look at the numbers, they crunch the data, they look at what the feds are doing, they look at the market, the Treasury, and we're very hopeful that by the end of 2023, that we see the rates between now and then start to decline. Listen, they may still go up by the end of the year. Feds have talked about looking at increasing the rates even between now and then. So we could still see an increase. But if they are correct, as far as the experts that look at this data, we could be looking to land somewhere around a 4.8 by the end of 2023. Now, listen, I'm not an expert. I've not been doing this that long to be able to tell you what I think is going to happen. But there's hope, that we could see the rates start to decline sometime between the end of this year and at the end of 2023, and holding out there. So, we may cap out at 7% at the end of the year. We may remain at a 6.5 through the end of the year. We may trickle back down. Really just depends on what's going on in the economy, with inflation and yes, we are in a recession, but despite being in a recession, things are still holding on. So, I think the market's still great. We're in a great market still here in the Tri-Cities. I'm thankful that we're here and not necessarily in a market, that's a big city or somewhere like that where they're not holding on as strong as we are. So, but we're going to get into talking about our market, looking at home prices, where they're kind of hanging out at, what we're looking at future wise, looking at the market as a whole as far as listing and what's been sold and how long things are on the market, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to hand this back over to Jay so he can kind of dive into a market snapshot for you.
Thanks, Josh. And one of the things, I don't know if you tell your clients this, but I tell mine. I said, one of the things to look at that's kind of the canary in the coal mine as far as mortgage rates is the 10-year Treasury note. That it's not a
Yes,
perfect correlation, but it does kind of give you the trajectory. So if you see the 10-year Treasury go up, then likely mortgage rates are going to go up as well. And if you see it go down, then likely mortgage rates are going to go down as well. It fluctuates what that difference between a 10-year Treasury rate and the mortgage rate is. But as far as trajectory, that can kind of give you an idea. If you want to watch something to kind of give you an idea of where mortgage rates are head, I would tag that and just kind of watch what it does.
100%.
So let's look at a quick the real estate market real quick. So this is from Mark Zandi, chief economist with Moody Analytics. And what he says is he doesn't think that national housing prices will decline in a meaningful way. However, there will be some price declines across the country. So what he's really saying there is overall, he doesn't think that there's going to be a national house price decline. So things you aren't going to see a market start to see home prices decline. And however, there will be certain markets that probably will have values decline a little bit, but it's not going to be enough markets to affect everything as a whole. And we can even see that somewhat here locally. I'll show you some of the local numbers. But one of the things to keep in mind is we're looking at a region that goes all the way from Abingdon, Virginia, all the way down to almost Morristown, Tennessee, up into a little bit of Kentucky and North Carolina, as well as kind of what our MLS covers and the things that get listed in there. So that's a whole swath of our region that the numbers come from. But when you look at individual towns and cities and counties, sometimes they look a little bit different. And if you followed me on social media, you've seen some of those numbers come out that I've released this month, where you can see places like Bristol looks very different than where a lot of the other areas look like. And this other quote is from CoreLogic, and basically they're saying that annual home price growth slowed for the third consecutive month in July, but remained elevated at 15.8%. Again, these are the national averages. As 30-year fixed rate mortgages neared 6% this summer and are actually now past it, some prospective home buyers pulled back, helping ease overheated and unsustainable price growth. Looking ahead, CoreLogic expects to see a more balanced housing market with year-over-year appreciation slowing to 3.8% by July of next year. Now, the thing about the going to a balanced and overheated and unsustained is, as an agent working with buyers, I haven't seen the higher mortgage rates slow down buyers that much. There's still more buyers out looking than there are homes for sale. In fact, just this past week, every home that I worked with a client to put an offer on had about 5 or 6 offers competing for top spot in that house. So kind of where it slowed down a little bit towards the end of the summer. It's sort of heated back up this month. So we'll have to see if continued mortgage rates going up puts more pressure on home buyers. But so far, it's really just changed a little bit of their behavior, mostly because during that time, their own home has gone up in value significantly as well, which helps them with a bigger down payment, which makes them the higher rates a little bit less painful as far as what their mortgage monthly payment would look like. Um, we talked about this last time. We started out the year with many experts forecasting about a 6 to 7% increase in home values in 2022. Well, now after we've gone almost through 3 quarters, they've revised that it's anywhere from 9 to 16%. So just like I said, we haven't seen a lot of the slowdown that was expected. They haven't seen it either as far as on a national level or on a local level. So looking at more of that local real estate numbers, here's a snapshot. Here's what the market looked like through for the month of August. There were 977 new listings that hit the market during the month of August. There was almost 1,300 homes for sale during the month of August, and there were 802 homes sold. The median sales price for August was 245,000, which is a 15.8% increase of August over August of 2021. And the median days on market is 45. So keep in mind that our market, our MLS counts the days on market from the day it was listed to the day it's closed. So not from the day it's listed to the day it goes under contract. So keep in mind, most mortgages take 30 to 45 days to close, which means most of these homes are going under contract anywhere from day one all the way up to day 14. That's where the median is sitting at. So things are still moving pretty fast. And this will kind of give you an idea. I'm actually going to put this full screen so you can see a little bit better. But if this is the number of active listings per month that we saw over the last 4 years. You can see 2022 is red, where everybody expected the number of listings to start surpassing where we were in 2021, which is a historically short number of listings for sale. We haven't seen that. 2022 has basically followed the same numbers as 2021. So we've had a persistent low number of homes for sale in our market. You can see starting in about May, that red line is basically exactly the same as the blue line from 2021. And so it's still a far cry from a balanced market, which is the dark blue line at top, sitting around somewhere around 5,000 homes for sale. So you can see it's just historically low. But even before the pandemic started in 2019, we already had pressure on listings because we had low listings during that time as well. And if we go on to look at sold listings, you can see that's tracking right along 2020 to 2021 numbers as well. However, it's towards the second half of the year, it looks like it's going to follow more 2019 numbers where there were fewer sales. Because you can see this time last year, we started seeing a huge uptick in the number of sales happening, whereas this year it has gone down and plateaued for July and August, right at the same as the 2019 numbers. So what does all this do for the average sales price in our area? Well, it continues to push that number up because we have consistently and persistent low inventory of homes for sale. It's still a seller's market. There's still more buyers looking for homes than there are homes to purchase. So that has pushed that red line of 2022. The average sales price has been higher than the previous years for every month this year. And if you compare it all the way back to August of 2019, on average, home values have gone up almost 44% during that 3-year period. So that's a pretty huge jump, no matter how you cut it. And if you look at home price appreciation this year, so this is looking at the median sales values for each month this year compared to the same month of the previous year, so 2021 to 2022, you can see we have not seen price depreciation because you would have to see negative numbers there to see that. So we have seen a little bit of a slowdown of the appreciation, but there has not been any home price depreciation year over year. You can see August was 15.8%. It peaked in May at almost 32%. And, it's hovered over 10% for the majority of the year. So still pretty healthy amount of home price appreciation for us in our area, which is putting a lot of equity in a lot of our pockets if we've owned homes during this time. And so, really, just to bottom line it, and you can't see that, so I'll bring it up full screen. Inventory levels are not improving over last year. Home prices are continuing to rise in our area. The seller's market will persist for the near future. However, there are fewer buyers searching for homes than last year, which is resulting in fewer sales. But there's still more buyers than homes for sale. And as Josh said, higher mortgage rates are higher, but it really hasn't deterred as many buyers as expected. That's not to say it hasn't deterred buyers, just it hasn't made as big of an impact as I think the experts were expecting. So what do you think there, Josh?
Yeah, so I mean, if anybody, tunes into this at some point in time, whether you're watching live with us or you jump on this video later, one thing to encourage you is, some of you may have fallen out of the qualifying range because of how rates have increased this year, and that's typically what happens is as the rates increase, the monthly payment increases, which affects your debt to income. And so, one thing to encourage you is, look at ways on how you can affect your bottom line on your debt to income. And a lot of that is the debts that you currently have. And I say this because, some of you are really hoping to buy this year or maybe next year, and some of that got squashed when the rates have increased. There's two things. One, work towards your credit, work towards your debt to income and eliminating those debts because it's going to help your debt to income on the bottom line. Um, your income plays a major factor in that as well too. But between now and next year, hopefully the rates will decrease, like I talked about earlier. But homes are still going to be for sale in this market. Period. Um, we are just on the front edge of this market growing. As y'all know, the casino is coming town. It's not fully developed yet. It's just a small portion of what their plans are with the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. We've got a lot of growth happening. We've got a lot of developments being made. This area is going to continue to grow and grow and grow. So we see the home values are not going to decrease, that they're going to remain, and probably increase over time as our market continues to grow. So hang in there. Don't give up. I'm here to help you look at ways to see how we can help get your numbers where they need to be to help get you into that home. Um, just hang in there is really all I can say is don't give up. One thing I like to tell people all the time is, I get a few borrowers here and there at times that will get frustrated because the home that they wanted is gone and they can't find anything else in the market. But when you live in the market that we do, homes are coming up available every week.
Hmm.
So the other home you may be looking for may be right around the corner. So don't give up. So hang in there, and I'll pass it back on to you, Jay.
No, I agree. Don't give up. There's a few things that Josh touched on too that I'll just kind of reiterate. One is you need to be working with professionals. If you want to buy a home in this market, this is not the time to just kind of go, oh, let's go look at some homes. If we find one we like, then we'll talk to a bank about a mortgage. We'll maybe talk to a real estate agent. No, you need to be prepared ahead of time before you go out searching for a home because when you find that home you're looking for, it's very likely that it's not going to be on the market long. We're talking anywhere from 24 hours to maybe a week or two at the most, depending on, and that's assuming that you saw it as soon as it hit the market. So you need to be working with a professional real estate agent and a professional mortgage loan officer so that you're fully prepared, so that you've already got your pre-approval, you know how much you can afford, you know what type of loan you're going to do, because we have to know all of those things before we can write up the offer. Because if you're doing an FHA or a VA loan, the offer has to be written a little bit differently than if it's a conventional loan or another type of loan. And you need an agent that is constantly getting you updates on what's hitting the market and getting you to see them fast, and then giving you advice if you end up at a multiple offer scenario on how to best position yourself to win that house if that's the one that you really want. So there's a lot of moving parts that are going on that you I really wouldn't recommend you trying to do it on your own. That's what we're here for. That's where we can help, and it really makes the process easier so that you don't lose that hope. Yeah, it might take a few times. You might lose a few bidding wars on homes, but we can get you into that home that you really want. It's just going to take some patience and some preparation. Well, this is now the time that we're going to open it up. I don't think my stats are working correctly. So if anybody is tuned in live, please go ahead and put your questions in the comment, and we'll look for those to come through. This is the first time doing this, so I mean, I don't expect much. It's not going to hurt my feelings if there's no comments and no questions to answer. I'm sure it's not going to hurt Josh's, but we're going to try to do these every month so that people can really start tuning in and count on them on getting the information about the market on a monthly basis. So let me.
Yeah, I think the only one person I think we have on is myself because I got to pull up on my phone. So,
Yeah.
which is, I
Well,
agree with you. It's not a
we've peaked
problem.
at 2 or 3 viewers at times, but I don't see any
Yeah.
comments coming through. Um, and my YouTube live stream is not working for some reason, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, we
But
can always come back and answer questions even after the video is posted. So,
yeah. So if you're watching, if you're not watching this live, if you're watching the recorded version and you have a question, just put it down there in the comments. We'll get notified about that, and we can definitely respond to it. Or you can direct message either one of us or give us a call, and we'll be glad to answer your questions because there's a lot of questions. It's healthy to ask a lot of questions in the current market that we're in. Even so, with the market the way it is with buyers, it's a different seller's market. Yes, it's still a seller's
mhm.
market, but it's no longer the name your price and watch people fight over it market. It takes some strategic planning to get a house sold right now. There's still plenty of homes not selling, which is evidenced by the fact that our the number of active listings has kind of plateaued at around, it kind of vacillates between 1,100 and 1,300 homes on the market. Um, but the number of new listings has slowed down, the number of sales has slowed down. So what that's telling me is there's still a lot of homes on the market that aren't selling, because the only thing that was increasing the amount that we're selling was the amount of new homes getting listed and adding to inventory. So there's a lot of overpriced homes on the market, is what I'm trying to say. And if you
Mhm.
overprice yours, it's not likely going to sell. So it's worth listing it with an agent to make sure that you can maximize the value and minimize your headache. All right. Well, I don't see any comments coming through, so I think Josh and I will just close this out. So it's still a great time to buy. It's definitely a great time to sell. Don't get disheartened by the current mortgage rates, because, like I said earlier, you may have more equity in your home than you realize, which might mitigate a lot of that, the rates being higher than we're used to over the last few years. But historically, they're still low. A 6%, even a 7%
Mhm.
mortgage rate is closer to historic norms, and that's on the low end, than the 2.5% and 3% we saw over the past year,
Right.
which was just ridiculously and historically low and really unprecedented.
Right.
But so it's still a great time, and we look forward to doing this with you again in the future. And always stay in touch with us. We both have Facebook channels that you
Mhm.
can keep in touch and follow us and get more updates more often about the current market and what's going on. And always feel free to contact us. And I'll let Josh go ahead and sign us out.
Hey guys, well, thank you for those that tune in at some point. We're really doing these things just to help. That's really all this is about. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions whatsoever. So anything about getting pre-qualified, what does it take to get approved? What things we look for in getting you approved? Um, what types of monthly payments, that kind of stuff. Anything that you have questions on, don't hesitate. If you currently own a home and you're thinking about selling, and you want to look at what that looks like with converting it over to using that money for purchasing another home and how it's going to help you, me and Jay can help with that too. So just know we're here to help in any way possible. We're by no means 100% absolute experts, but we are professionals and we do this as a career, um, each and every day. So we do know things that we're talking about. We don't know everything, but at the end of the day, we're here to help you with what your goals are in owning a home or selling or purchasing, whatever it may be. That's what we're here for. So um, once again, if you have any questions or need anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out, comment on the videos, send us messages on Facebook. We're just here to help everybody in our market.
Absolutely. And don't forget that if you did enjoy this video, to go ahead and click the like button down below. That lets everybody know that you like it, and it helps it get shared with more people. And also, if you liked it, feel free to share it with your friends and let them benefit from it as well. Like Josh said, we're not experts, but we are in this industry. We are professionals. We work a lot of deals every month, so we see what the market is doing on a real hands-on basis. But we also know what we don't know, and more importantly, we know where to go to find out the answers
Mhm.
to what we don't know. So that's where it really pays to work with a professional. Hey, I can get long-winded and keep talking, so we'll just go ahead and say thank you for tuning in. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.